NFL Week 3 reaction here on 4 Verts. My name is Harrison Graham. Early games are in the books. Afternoon games ongoing. We got a little Sunday Night Football tonight. We will cover that tonight as well. But before we get to that, the Vikings blow out the Texans. Want to kick things off here because I think today, across the NFL and through 3 weeks, you're seeing which teams are coached well and which aren't. And if Kevin O'Connell isn't the early runaway favorite for Coach of the Year, I'm not sure who is. 4 touchdown passes for Sam Darnold today as they blast the Texans 34-7. Darnold has been terrific. He now has 8 touchdowns against just 2 interceptions on the year. Aaron Jones ran for 100 yards. You hold C.J. Stroud in that Texans offense to just 1 touchdown. What a win. And Minnesota, who many, including myself, projected to finish last in the NFC North, sit alone atop the NFC North at 3-0. And that coaching staff, with O'Connell as the head coach and offensive play caller, Brian Flores is the defensive play caller, 2 weeks in a row, just confusing Brock Purdy and C.J. Stroud. Darnold's efficient. Aaron Jones can run the ball. This Vikings team is formidable. I can't sit here and say I'm ready to call them a Super Bowl contender with Sam Darnold at quarterback, but they are more than worthy of being a playoff contender at this point. And their head coach, I think, is clearly the favorite for Coach of the Year through 3 weeks. So kudos to Minnesota. They look very, very good. More reaction from the early slate in a moment, but again, subscribe to 4 Verts. We're trying to get to 3,000 subs as soon as possible. We'll have reaction to Sunday Night Football, Chiefs-Falcons, plus the afternoon slate coming up tonight. So lock us in. We will continue to keep you guys in the loop with everything surrounding the NFL. It's 100% free, so hit that subscribe button. Colts-Bears as we stick in the NFC North. Indianapolis hanging on against Chicago. And I know a lot of you guys are Bears fans and watched our Bears stream earlier on Chicago Bears Now. I obviously watched this entire game. The Bears just got major issues. Caleb Williams threw for an NFL season high 363 yards, most of the NFL through 3 weeks, most of week 3 done, obviously. And they still lost this game and got shut out in the first half. Colts won this game 21-16. Anthony Richardson threw 2 of the worst interceptions you will ever see. One in the end zone where he flipped it right to Tremaine Edmonds, and the second one goes across his body, just lobs it right to Jalen Johnson. And it's really more of the same for Chicago. Defense keeps you in it. Offensive ineptitude is the reason you lose. Sure, Caleb Williams had 3 turnovers. 1 pick was really bad. The second one, contested ball with Rome, gets tipped up and picked. Okay, you can live with those. First one, he throws it to the sideline way late, and it's an easy pick. Can't happen. But Shane Waldron, the Bears' offensive play caller, has been horrible. They can't run the ball. The Colts were dead last in the NFL in rush defense coming into this week, allowing 237 rushing yards per game. The Bears ran it 28 times for 63 yards. DeAndre Swift is looking like one of the worst signings in free agency. It's just a disaster. It's a complete disaster, and the one positive is Caleb seems to be getting better each week, even though the turnovers have been there. 5 turnovers the last 2 games. Rome Odunze had 100 yards. Cole Kmet had 97. DJ Moore had 78 yards. So the pass catchers and the quarterbacks seem to be syncing up, but it just doesn't feel like Matt Eberflus is a head coach. I think you're going to hear hot seat rumors soon there. And if you're Shane Steichen, the Colts coach, I know you won, but I think quietly this was one of the worst quarterback games of the NFL this season. He may have an Anthony Richardson problem, and I tweeted it during the game. I thought the Colts were going to go to Joe Flacco. And if they ever trailed in this game, I think they might have. Luckily, the Bears just beat themselves if you're a Colts fan. But, man, Richardson's an issue. Bears seem to have coaching issues. Their offensive line is terrible. I don't know. The good news is Caleb Williams is looking a little bit better each week. But it's just the same old story in Chicago where you're seemingly not helping the quarterback enough. Pretty hard to watch if you're a Bears fan. Steelers-Chargers. On the flip side, former quarterback Justin Fields leads the Steelers to a 20-10 win. The Steelers are 3-0. So much for that quarterback competition. I don't think Russell Wilson's playing anytime soon. Justin Fields, 25 of 32, 245. Threw for a touchdown, rushed for a touchdown. Steelers defense continues to be dominant. Justin Herbert got pulled in this game. He's dealing with that high ankle sprain, so, tried to give it a go. Couldn't play all the way through. Left the game in a boot. You start 3-0, your chances of making the playoffs are astronomical. And think of the AFC North right now. They're 3-0. Browns are 1-2. Ravens are 0-2. Looks like they're going to get their first win. They're hammering the Cowboys, but still, let's just call them 1-2. And the Bengals are 0-2 going into Monday night. So even if Cincinnati wins too, Steelers already got a 2-game cushion. So they got to be feeling good about themselves. And it's just amazing when you get a talent like Justin Fields into a competent organization. Now, I don't think the Bears made the wrong call going to Caleb. Caleb threw for more passing yards today than Justin did in 3 years. I'm not saying that. I'm not entertaining that conversation from a Bears standpoint. But Justin Fields, if coached the right way and if utilized properly, hey, take care of the football, run when necessary, be smart as a passer, you can manage games with him as your quarterback, and that's what's happened through 3 weeks. And the Steelers' defense is loaded. They can lean on that side, and if Justin makes just enough plays and doesn't turn the ball over, 1 turnover in 3 games, they're going to be competitive, and clearly that's been the case up to this point. A bizarre game in New Orleans. The Eagles come back to beat the Saints 15-12. This game was 3-0 New Orleans through 3 quarters, and you're just like, what is going on here with the Saints offense and the Eagles are balling? Saints offense has been balling this year. Eagles defense has been struggling. Vic Fangio found some solutions. They held Derek Carr to 142 yards passing, so that was impressive. And Saquon Barkley went nuclear. Had a 65-yard touchdown run, rushed for 147 yards, had 2 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts didn't throw for a touchdown, but threw for 311. Dallas Goedert, 170 yards. So big win for Philly to win this game on the road without A.J. Brown. Big response after that debacle on Monday Night Football. Now, Nick Sirianni had multiple bizarre decisions in this game with clock management and 4th downs. I still have major question marks about him, but for the Eagles as a whole to bounce back and win this game because they got the Saints and Tampa back-to-back. Now they're 2-1. Tampa got smoked today, so that game feels a little bit more manageable. So that's a big win for Philly. I mean, it really is. And they needed it. Nick Sirianni needed it very, very badly. Devontae Smith had 79 yards in the game as well. When I saw Taysom Hill was going to be inactive, I was like, that feels like a big deal for New Orleans because he just does so much for them as a fullback, tight end. They line him up at running back sometimes. This felt like a comeback to earth game for New Orleans a little bit. And for Philadelphia, it wasn't pretty, but they found a way. And how good has Saquon Barkley been? I know he had that drop last week, but he's been their best player by far. Eagles 2-1, Saints 2-1 as well. All right, just a couple of other scores, and then we'll get out of here. Giants get their first win of the year, 21-15 at Cleveland. This Deshaun Watson thing, it's a train wreck. I mean, 21 of 37 for $196. I know he threw a couple touchdowns, but just no big plays. Matt LaFleur, I mentioned the coaching thing. He wins his 2nd straight game with Malik Willis, 30 points against the Titans. Will Levis threw an awful pick 6. How long do you stick with him if you're Brian Callahan? They fall to 0-3. Willis also rushed for 73 yards and a touchdown in the win. 13-19, 202 and a touch. I mean, just efficient ball from Malik Willis. Again, coaching is critical in this league. And then the Broncos hammered the Bucs 26-7. Bo Nix gets his first win of his career. He rushed for a touchdown, threw for 216. A big win for them. Ugly loss for Tampa. Afternoon games right now. Lions lead the Cardinals 20-10 early second half. 49ers up 14-7 last time I checked. Let me refresh here. 21-7 now, 49ers. And then the Ravens are just hammering the Cowboys. Mike Zimmer's defense looks terrible. Dallas down 28-6 midway through the 3rd quarter. Lamar Jackson 10 for 11, $161 and a touchdown. Derrick Henry 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. His best game as a Raven. Dolphins miss Tua. They trail 17-3 to Seattle midway through the 3rd. And then I loved Panthers' money line all week. Andy Dalton, 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Panthers smoking the Raiders 27-7 on the road. Late 3rd quarter there. We'll have more reaction on the afternoon slate, plus Sunday Night Football tonight here on 4 Verts. So hit that subscribe button. My name is Harrison Graham. We'll see you soon here on 4 Verts.